Hey, TCF family, join me in congratulating Joy for being December's Member of the Month. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's let the people learn a little bit more about you. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I have been going to the gym here for about a year and a half.
Okay.
I'm a hairstylist. I have a 4-year-old, and I live in Raleigh.
That's the elevator speech, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. Cool. And so you've been coming for the gym a year and a half, but you've been doing like working out and stuff like that for a while.
Yeah, I used to just go to a global gym and lift weights and do squats and deadlifts and do the elliptical and the stairs, Stairmaster.
Yeah.
I did that for a while, probably since like 2011 or 12-ish, but never consistently. Like I would go for 6 months and then not go for 6 months, and just kind of do that whole back and forth thing. When I went on a trip in 2015 to Iceland with my friend and decided that I always wanted to be able to go for hikes and climb mountains. And ever since then, I became more dedicated.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So it was like you weren't able to do something on that trip to Iceland?
No, I was thinking like, man, I always want to be able to do this. Like I always want to be in good enough shape to be able to do whatever
Like on
I
a
want
whim
to do.
or whatever, right? That's cool. And what got you initially into working out all the way back in 2011?
I've always liked it. I've always liked lifting weights.
Okay.
So once I realized that was a thing you could do and learned my way around the gym, because there's a lot of, I don't want to say intimidation, but, you know, if you don't know what you're doing, it's hard to know what to do.
Right.
But once I learned that, I was sold.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
And then, so after the Iceland trip, is that when you got into a little bit more of the program or whatever?
Well, so that was 2015, and after that, I worked out more consistently. Like, I never stopped after that. There was never a 6-month break.
Okay.
Except for I got pregnant and had my son. I took a
Right.
break then.
Right.
But outside of that, there was never a break again.
Okay, cool. And then you got into kind of a little bit more weightlifting seriously, and then got into that Olympic lifting stuff?
Yeah, so I have a friend who is Olympic weightlifter, and she told me about a class that she was taking that was just, she knew I liked lifting weights, but I wasn't really sold on CrossFit. The cardio, conditioning
Too much.
part. Yeah.
Too much cardio. Too much cardio.
So I joined the barbell club with her in December of 2018, and then did that for like a year, and then I had less time in my schedule, so I wanted to do CrossFit at that point. Just lifting weights takes a long time. CrossFit is a little faster. So I switched over to CrossFit for 2.5 months, and then COVID.
Bam.
Yeah.
Kind of shut that down real quick.
Yeah.
And so you were working out with your friend in her garage or your garage or something like that?
Yeah, I worked, at first I was just working out in my yard outside when I lived downtown.
Trying to get a tan and swim
Oh,
at the
it
same
was
time?
terrible. But fortunately I had weights and a barbell, and that's all you really need. And then when we moved to this side of town, I had a garage, so I was able to work out through the winter. And I had a friend that would come over a couple times a week. So it got me through. I wasn't in the best shape of my life.
Yeah, you were on the struggle bus, as you say.
Yeah, it was tough.
That's good. And then from there, you joined TCF and then never looked back since, right?
Yep. Yeah, basically. I mean, I once, how vaccines became a thing, I got back in the gym, and it's been awesome.
Yeah.
I got my ass kicked the first time I came here. I'll never forget it.
Where you walked in, and I think I heard you wrong. I thought you said you were doing CrossFit for a while or something like that.
Yeah.
But you said you're doing Olympic weightlifting only or whatever, right?
Yeah. I mean, I did like CrossFit style workouts at home, but like, not at a gym.
Not like
Yeah.
the same thing, sort of similar,
Sort
right? Okay, that's awesome. And then, so you said you own your own, or you are a hairstylist.
Yes.
Right? So what got you into that?
I dropped out of college and needed a job.
Oh, so there wasn't any like I've wanted to do hair my whole life sort of thing?
I've always liked like makeup and hair and stuff like that. So I went to college for a year and it was okay, but I wasn't really feeling it. So I knew someone that was going to hair school, and I was like, that seems like it could be pretty fun. And it is really fun. So that's what I do now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I've been doing that since 2004, so almost, I guess, 18, almost 19 years.
Oh, geez. Okay, so you've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
And so, like, you just stuck with it, and you've never wanted to do anything different since you started?
I mean,
or?
Sometimes I think any job has its
Pros and cons or
yeah,
whatever?
exactly. I don't like having to stand up all day, but outside of that, I love my job.
So make sure you get, like, a nice little pad
Yeah,
underneath your
I
feet
do
or
have
whatever.
one. Yeah.
That's cool. And so,
Yeah.
like, what do you enjoy about the hairstyle and stuff like that? Is it the
People.
yeah?
Yeah. I love meeting new people, talking to people, and being able to make people feel good about themselves.
Yeah, I mean, if they get a good haircut, right, they're gonna feel
they're,
so
like,
much better.
Looking good.
Walking out all confident and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Awesome. And so, what I guess got you into owning your own hair salon and stuff like that?
I guess COVID really. I worked at one salon for about 6 years, and then I worked at another one for 10 years. And the one I worked at for 10 years was dissolving and changing ownership after COVID. It was a really hard time and a weird time for hairstylists, and
Yeah.
I'm sure gym owners.
Everybody, right?
Yeah. And so anyway, that dissolved, and my best friend I've been working with, I met her in hair school in 2004, and she's always been asking me to like open a salon, and I was like, all right, now's the time. Let's do it. So that was, I don't remember, whenever I started here, I guess, in
So
2001.
a year and a half ago, or
Yeah, about a year and a half ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
It kind of, I don't want to say I was forced to do it, but
It was
kinda-
thrust upon you,
yes,
or something like that.
It was, yeah.
That's good. And then, so what do you like more? Do you like the actual cutting of hair, the running the business side of things?
I like a little bit of both. I think the business stuff is really interesting, and I think I have kind of a knack for it. But I also would never want to just do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
like
mean, you
doing
started cutting hair for a reason,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then enjoy that. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. It's
And
been
so,
fun.
has owning the business allowed you to travel more and stuff like that versus just cutting the hair?
Not really. I actually traveled more for work whenever I was just cutting hair.
Okay.
I have a little less free time to travel for fun, and then I used to travel for work, but I haven't done that in several years. So
Okay. I know
that's
you.
just a for fun thing.
Okay. And then, so like, I know you said you'd like to travel a lot, and so how, or like, what's your favorite place that you've traveled to?
We just went to Scotland, and I think every place is my favorite.
Like what you said with Cortland,
Yeah.
every ride was his favorite ride.
Yeah. He comes by it honest. But Scotland was so beautiful. It's so green. We had amazing weather, so that really helped. It was just a really beautiful place. It's really inspiring to be somewhere so beautiful.
Okay. And then what? So
And the people are really nice too.
yeah.
And there's lots of seafood.
Well, and that was one thing that
Yeah.
you wrote in here. You said your favorite food is seafood and ice cream, and I was
Yeah.
curious whether or not you mix the two together or mix them together separate or what.
Yeah. No, definitely separate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. When you wrote that, I was like, what?
Yeah.
What? So like, has there been like a favorite seafood dish that you ate from Scotland or somewhere else that you traveled to?
Oh, I really like shellfish. So they had just a ton of oysters and mussels. So lots of really good seafood. But everything was really fresh. So that was pretty awesome too.
Yeah. I mean, right off the coast, right?
Yeah. That was
Cool.
awesome.
And so why do you like seafood though? Like
I don't know.
I feel like a lot of people either love it or hate it.
I love it. Like, I thought that I would maybe get tired of it if I ate it every day. And I never got tired of it.
Like,
I almost got tired of it one day, but then the next day I ate seafood.
and you loved it again.
Yeah.
Just make sure you don't overeat it too much, right?
Yeah.
Cool. And then what about like before Scotland? What was your favorite place you traveled to? Or I guess what was the place before that?
Probably Greece. And I found out I was pregnant there, so that was very special. But that also is just a really beautiful place.
Yeah.
There's just lots of clear water and rocky cliffs and water. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Did you go see like all the old monuments and things like that? And
we did. We went to not all of them probably, but all of the
super popular ones.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was really neat too. It's also really humbling to be in a place that's so much older than even our country.
Oh, yeah.
So
you think
puts things in perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you realize how like far behind
it's just
young we are.
How inconsequential like everything we think matters is.
Mm-hmm. Like whatever is happening right now, you think it's the end of the world or whatever. When
it's not.
Grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to tell that to other people.
Right.
Spread that amongst everybody else.
Here now.
Yeah. So you found out you were pregnant with Courtland then.
Yeah.
How has that been? Kind of like raising Courtland and.
It's been awesome. I love being a mom. He's 4.5. I feel like there was a brief time where things were really stressful with COVID and opening the salon, and I wasn't like as present of a mother as I like to be, but now we're in a really good place, and he's just super fun. The stuff he says is hilarious, and he's an amazing kid.
Yeah, I mean that when we were talking like as coaches figuring out who's the member of the month, and that was one of the questions they wanted to ask you about. It was like, how the heck did you get Courtland to be such a good kid?
I don't know. I think they just come out the way they come out.
And then that's
right?
It.
I know John, my husband, was a very good kid. I think I did okay.
Maybe, right?
I don't know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He's just pretty chill.
Yeah.
He's not too wild. He likes to think about things before he does them. And he's very observant and detail-oriented.
Yeah. I mean, like you'll bring him to the gym sometimes, and I forget that he's here because he just sits, just walk out. All right, see ya. Like he'll just sit there and he doesn't make a noise or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
And the other kids will come in and they're like running around like crazy, and you can't get them to shut up.
Yeah, everyone. It's just like people, everybody is just a little different, right?
So I guess it is true. Like you get payback, right? If you were a bad kid, then you're gonna get like a bad kid as well. So.
I hear the second one's the bad one, so I'm gonna cut it off.
Make sure that doesn't happen. It's like if you and John were good kids, and hopefully then maybe that's why Courtland's such a good kid.
I think so.
That's awesome. I mean, from all the times I've talked with him and hung out with him and stuff like that, and he's been in the gym.
Yeah.
He's
a sweetie.
Yeah, he's freaking awesome.
Thanks.
I mean, especially for 4 years old. I mean, you'd think he'd be a lot from his just.
He has started, he doesn't walk anywhere anymore. He runs everywhere. So he's a little more, But he's great. He's a really calm and interesting child.
I guess if you had some sort of tip or anything like that, or like one thing you would...
be consistent. Yeah. You can't tell them no candy for breakfast and then one day give them candy for breakfast, because then they're always going to want candy for breakfast. Like if you... give in to anything one time,
it's the end of the world.
They'll remember it forever. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
consistency.
You can't cave in or whatever and give them.
Yeah. And there's special occasions, but for the general thing.
Yeah, he's like, why can't I get candy now? You gave me candy last month.
Yeah, exactly.
You gave me candy last year. Why can't I get it now?
Yeah.
How the heck do you remember this?
Right.
That's awesome.
The stuff they remember is crazy.
Yeah. And then, so another thing that you kind of wrote in here, which I was curious about, is you said you haven't put gas in your car since 2016.
Yeah. I've been driving electric since 2016.
Really?
Yeah. So that has been awesome because I hate running errands.
And then taking gas out of the errands and stuff like that has helped out a lot.
It's like, when you get off work, you just want to go home.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't want to have to stop for gas.
Mm-hmm.
And on the way, going into work in the morning, you always forget you need gas until you get in your car and you're like,
oh crap,
I need gas. So that's been nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love it. it's been pretty great.
And then, like, how's that work? You just got like a plug up thing in your garage or something like that?
Yep. Yeah, so I just plug it in. I don't even have to charge it every day. So just a couple times a week, just charge it up.
You take it on road trips at all?
I have not. I have a cheap electric car, so it gets 150 miles to the charge.
Okay.
Like a Tesla would get over 300, so you would be more likely to take that somewhere. But I don't think mine gets. I mean, mine gets everywhere in the triangle.
Right.
You know, anywhere I need to go. But I haven't done a road trip.
Yeah. That would be interesting. I remember watching a video or looking at something where they took a Tesla on like a country long.
Like a real road trip.
And I mean that looked painful trying to.
You just have to. You'd have to like plan it out and make sure there was a charging station.
Yeah.
But hopefully at some point it'll be like a gas station,
and you can just plug in.
They are making cars now that can charge to a full charge or 80% charge in 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like that's about how long you would spend at a gas station. So then it would be really feasible to do.
Yeah.
It's just kind of cool technology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting, but I saw that and I was like, what do you mean?
That's a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even hear about electric cars probably until like maybe 18, 19 or something like that. So it's crazy how you got into it so early. Yeah, there you go. Look at that.
Yeah.
So kind of getting back into like the fitness side of things and stuff. What was your biggest challenge prior to joining the TCF family?
I only did workouts that I liked.
I think that's everybody's challenge.
I know. Right? It's you know, I've always like struggled with upper body strength and always been pretty good with lower body strength. So you know, I mean, I'd never do bench press, but like I would do squats and deadlifts, kind of stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know, just not challenging myself in the areas where I was weakest.
And then like how'd that make you feel?
I mean, you know, I was fine with it, but
you're like, I'm getting stronger in my legs, so that's all that matters, right?
I mean, I wasn't living up to my full potential, and I'm definitely more proud of myself now that I have developed more upper body strength.
I mean, it's crazy because like
I couldn't do a pull up when I came here.
Yeah, you couldn't do a pull up, and you are you able to do toes bar now? Or you can do like a few, right?
Yeah.
It's just the stringing together is the hard part. Yeah.
The gymnastics.
working on it, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, but like doing that, I mean, it's crazy now that only in a year and a half you're able to do more upper body stuff, more gymnastics. I mean, there's always room to improve, right?
Oh yeah.
But
I think that's what I like about CrossFit too. It's like to be, you know, there is always new stuff to learn.
You can once you feel like you're a master at something, you've probably forgotten.
Oh, they'll make something new.
Yeah. that too. It's like, hey, so you're great at these pull-ups, so now we're gonna do chest bars, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what?
Yeah. Exactly.
But I mean, it keeps you like engaged and stuff like that. It keeps you excited. It's not like you're amazing at everything. It's like, okay, I gotta find something else now.
Right.
There's always you're working on pull-ups or gymnastics in general, right? And then all of a sudden that somehow plays into like increasing your Olympic lifts.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make any sense, but somehow it works.
It's accessory.
Yeah, right. I mean, it does make sense in a way, but to most people, it's like, oh, I get better at this, and somehow this gets better. It's like magic, right?
Yeah. CrossFit is magic.
Yeah, and so like, hey, there you go. What other like positive impacts have you seen since joining TCF?
I'm a lot faster. I think my endurance has gotten a lot better. I
mean, hopefully
I feel like more explosive.
Yeah.
Than before.
Yeah, but hopefully your cardio and endurance got better because if you didn't do it before,
it was starting at 0.
Because what was it? You said that you didn't want to do CrossFit because there's too much cardio, right?
Yeah.
And so hopefully
it was important to me to get the foundation of having the form and having that. I mean, I'm not doing it correctly 100% of the time, but a lot of times people injure themselves because they're doing things wrong.
Or they're trying to go too fast or too aggressive too early.
And I just wanted to make sure that I knew, 75% of how to lift correctly.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and just coming to classes, taking things slow, learning things over time, like layering them on.
Yeah.
And not getting caught up in the rat race or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Hey.
It's hard not to. You get into class and you're like, I have to go as fast.
It's like, no.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, Joy's over there. She's doing this. But I need to focus on myself.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, right? You've got this on your bar. I've got this on my bar. And that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then what would you say to somebody that's on the fence about joining?
That you should. Mm-hmm. CrossFit's great. I love how scalable it is. Anybody can do CrossFit, and you can make it as challenging or not challenging as you want. Mm-hmm. It's all up to you.
Yeah, I mean, you got people that have been working out for 11 years or 12 years now, whatever it is, right? And then you got other people that's like their first day.
Yeah.
Or their first month or whatever it is.
Totally.
Or been Olympic lifting for 2-3 years, and then someone's never touched a barbell before.
Yeah. Outside of pretty much anything, I think. It's just, I like the variety and the fact that, you know, you can do like anything from ring rows to chest to bar, and you're still like kind of working the same muscles. And
but again, you're challenging the person based on their skill level and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like maybe ring rows are terribly hard for you, right? And then for me, chest bars are terribly hard for me, and then getting similar muscles being used, whatever it is. I mean, that's awesome about just the background of people and the diversity in a way, right? Not just like types of people, but just backgrounds and abilities as well. Yeah. That's awesome. And anything else you would like to add, Joy?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I'm so honored to be member of the month.
Yeah. Well, thank the coaches because they nominated you and stuff like that. But
that's awesome.
Congratulations again for being December's member of the month. And make sure you tell Joy congrats next time you see her in the gym.
Yeah. Thank you.